Hi, Year 3. Hello, Mr. Huxley here. Hi. Hello, and welcome to this week's PSHE. So it's based around growth mindset, the idea of a growth mindset. So I'll take my picture off in a minute. Just wanted to say hello to you. And the way it's going to work is, now before we go any further with the lesson, because this is going to be a lesson just to check your understanding from this video. So if you watch this video here, if you haven't watched this video rather, could you make sure you stop this one and go back and watch that one? It's very, 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 very important that you watch this video here before we go on. So watch that video, which will explain about what a growth mindset means. So do that first, and then come back. And then what we're going to do now is I'm going to try and check your understanding of what you think a growth mindset means. And then I'm going to take it further and going to give you some ideas on how you could try and develop your own growth mindset. And at the end of it, there's an activity where, like a little competition. So I'm going to take myself off here, because I want you to listen to me rather than stare at my voice. Okay, so you've looked at that. So going further, if it works, there you go. So wanted to check. So far in PSHE last week, we looked at going for goals. So it was the whole idea of thinking about things you would like to achieve in life, or just to achieve at the moment. And how can you get to those goals? And it was by taking small steps. You can make it one step at a time. And some children did some home learning last week, where you thought about goals that you would like to achieve and any kind of aspirations that you might have. And here's a couple of examples here. That on the left there, you've got Ash. And I think he's from Feather, isn't he, Ash? If that's the one, apologies if it's not. So he wants to do tricks on his Segway, wants to get this, wants to do roller skating. So loads of goals. That was brilliant. And then on the right, now I haven't got a note of who this was, but this person here is giving us a step-by-step plan on how she wants to win a gold medal. And it looks like in hula hooping, and she's starting at the bottom there. Look, because if you remember last week, it was all about like having an imaginary staircase where you go up and up and up and up and up to reach your goals. So she said join a hula hooping club, and then she goes further and further up, learning new tricks until eventually she'll win a gold medal. So going back to this one. So you've watched that video about a growth mindset, and I hope you agree it was a really beautiful, beautiful video. And that's why I looked at lots of videos, and that was the best one I found to explain to us what a growth mindset is. So as you would have heard on there on the video, the lady is explaining how your mindset is how you see the world around us. That is our mindset. And the idea is that we either have a fixed mindset or we have a growth mindset. And if you remember on there as well, the lady was also saying it's very important to remember we can have both of these mindsets. Not it's going to be one or the other. Some of us have both and we change them around depending on the situation. But as you hopefully got from the video, it's more beneficial for us, particularly at school and taking on challenges in life, to have a growth mindset. So I'm just going to go through some examples now to see if you understood what that means. So here we've got growth and fixed and two definitions. So the one on the left says a mindset that loves problems and new opportunities to learn. And the one on the right says a mindset that avoids new opportunities to learn and they're fearful of new learning. So just pause the video for a little bit. Talk to whoever you're talking to at home. If nobody, have a think to yourself. Don't need to write anything down. Just read those two definitions again. Play the video back a bit to hear me read them again. And just think which one matches which. Which one of those definitions matches growth mindset? Which one matches fixed mindset? Okay. Pause the video now. And welcome back. And hopefully you come up with this one. So yeah, the growth one is you have a mindset where you love problems, but also you don't fear problems. That's the other thing, isn't it? And you love new opportunities to learn. You love challenges, but you're not fearful of them. Whereas a fixed mindset, you will kind of avoid doing new things. Even if you're good at what you do, you avoid doing new things with a fixed mindset. And sometimes that makes you a bit fearful of new learning. This picture here is also just another cartoon drawing of what we just saw. So the growth mindset on the right there, look, you can see you've got a tree just to depict the growth. And on the right-hand side for the fixed, this one here, you've got, it's like having your brain and the way you see everything is like locked together. You're not changing your thoughts. So, question for you. This young man here, sat at home, not looking really happy, like dreaming, reminiscing, all these kind of trophies here, where he's come first. And he's come first, so whatever he got their trophies for, he came first. So, quite good at what he did. But look what he's saying. This is what he's saying. He's saying, I like to always think about what I used to do and how good I used to be. So, have a think. Do you think the match is a fixed or growth mindset? Pause the video. And welcome back. So I'm going to keep doing that now. So when I say pause the video, pause it. And then you can, when you're ready to come back and we'll see if you're right. So, fixed mindset indeed, because what that means, even though he was really good, and this is what the thing you've got to remember, it isn't about how good you are at something. It doesn't mean if you're great at something, you're great at sport, you're great at spelling, you're great. It doesn't mean that. It means how you see activities, how you see learning, how you see challenges. So he's just thinking about things he did in the past, isn't he? Things he's already done. And he's thinking how good I used to be. He's not thinking about things he could do. If he had a growth mindset, he might say something like, yeah, I was good at that, but I want to get better and I want to do it a different way. I want to do something new. What about this person down here? This boy down here. He says, life is full of opportunities to learn new things if I practice. So, do you think that boy has a growth mindset there when he's saying that, or a fixed mindset? Pause the video. Welcome back. Growth mindset, because he's saying he realizes that life has lots of things to offer and opportunities to learn new things if you practice. It's a thing later on, and on the video, do you remember at the end of the video, the lady said ways that you can develop a growth mindset, and she said to use the attitude of yet, to say I haven't done that yet. So that boy's saying, well, I'm not a film star yet, I'm not a scientist yet. This one here, a boy and a girl, both in the PE sports hall, where there's one of these gymnastic apparatus here. And so, look at this boy here. Look at his face. Look at his what he's thinking. Look at that girl here. And I'll just read you something here. I've got here. The boy, you can see there, he's avoiding challenges. He's afraid to look silly and to be laughed at. Whereas the girl on this picture here, she embraces any challenge. She thinks they're fun. And also, she thinks failure is a part of learning and she's going to try hard. Even though, look on the picture, she's thinking, well, I can't do it. Doesn't matter. Giving it a go. So pause the video. I think you should all know this one by now. Which child is showing me they have a fixed mindset? Which one is showing me they have a growth mindset? Pause the video. Welcome back. And there you go. Of course, the boy, because he's fixed, he's saying he's afraid of new things. He's afraid to be laughed at. Doesn't think he can do it. But he's not saying, I can do it yet. He's saying, no, I can't do it. Don't want to do it. The girl is the opposite, isn't she? She's embracing that challenge and adventure. And that is what the lady said at the end of the video as well, didn't she? She said a person with a growth mindset is somebody who embraces or they enjoy doing challenges and adventures. and she's got the attitude of she hasn't done it yet because she realizes, look, she can't do it, but she's still going to have a go at doing it because if she practices and practices, she's going to be able to do it. Now, yes, lots of pictures of animals. 6 animals indeed. Now, what we've just spoken about there is by now you should be able to recognize what a fixed mindset is and a growth mindset of different people. So what we need to think about now is how can we develop a growth mindset? So there's a few strategies here. The lady end of the video spoke of a couple, but I'm just going to see and just try and demonstrate a couple for you now. So this one, it's got a question for you. There's 6 animals there: dog, budgie, shark, fox, bear, goldfish. How can you separate these 6 animals into 2 groups? Okay, take your time, pause the video, have a go, take as long as you like. How can you separate them into 6 groups? That's all I'm going to say. Okay, pause the video. Welcome back. And what you could have done, you could have divided them into pets and non-pets, couldn't you? You could have said, I have one group with dogs and goldfish, and the budgie, another group with fox, bear, and shark, so pets and non-pets. You could have had a group with fur animals and one with non-fur animals. You could have had a group with 4 legs and a group with not 4 legs. So it's lots and lots of different ways, lots of different strategies you could have used there. And that's what that means. Use multiple strategies to help you overcome something. So to give you a growth mindset. So if you can't do something once, one way, think, how else can I achieve that goal? And you do that at school. You don't even realize. So look at this slide here, where you've got maths. So, for example, this is in year 3 maths, isn't it? 25 divided by 4. And we did this strategy last week where the maths was saying, okay, to work that out there, you could use the number line and you could count back like that in 4, or you can go forwards, other way around there, forwards and backwards. Or you could use the 10 grid there. And the 1s and 10s, and you could fill them up there. And we went through that in maths. But my point is, there are different ways of coming out with the answer. Well, there are different strategies. So you could use physical resources for maths, can't you? You could group them on your whiteboard in different groups. There's different ways of coming up with the answer. So person with a growth mindset will look at one of these questions and they will think, well, I'm going to try it this way. I don't really understand that way. So I'm going to try this way. No, I know. I'm going to try that way. I like that way. That way works for me. Doesn't matter. Somebody might do that way. Somebody might do that way or that way. Doesn't matter. But the fact is they will try different ways to do it. If one way doesn't work, they'll try a different strategy. So different strategies. This is a good way. Listen to feedback and share your thinking. Like on this picture here, you've got the boy on the left-hand side. He's trying to make his motor boat look not going very well, falling apart a bit. But his mum or teacher here trying to give him advice, trying to give them feedback. You know, your teacher always gives you verbal feedback or written feedback, don't they, in the books? And your mum and dad at home or whoever at home will give you feedback on something. And I've seen it happen so many times, even at home. When you give advice to somebody at home, often the children go, no, I'm not listening. I don't want that feedback. And then they just think, oh, I can't do it. I'm rubbish at this. I can't do it. I'm not going to try anymore. Without listening, because it's very hard to listen to feedback. Even for grown-ups, it's very hard for somebody to tell us how to do something better. Because naturally, you think you can do it. But we all need to develop a growth mindset so we can take that feedback on and tackle that challenge. So it's like that's to do with the practicing and practicing. So this girl here, she's supposed to be showing you that, she's put the wheels on slightly wrong on her skateboard. And her mum's explaining, actually, this is probably what you want to be doing. She's, I can do that. So she's got a growth mindset. This one here is quite good. So this girl here is thinking, to develop a growth mindset, she's thinking, I would not be afraid to take on challenges. That's what we said on the video as well before, wasn't it? Ask questions. That's getting the feedback. Make mistakes. It goes back to that girl in the sports hall where she's going over the P box. She knows she's going to fail at it, but she does it. She doesn't care because she knows that she's just going to practice and make mistakes. Share my thinking. That's really good. That's an extra one there. So to share what you're thinking, you'll give feedback. Somebody else will give you feedback. And then to be happy to do this is one thing you need to do for you to develop a growth mindset. Final check that you have understood what I mean by a growth mindset and the opposite fixed mindset. So on here, got a girl called Lucy, and she says, I don't know how to play the guitar yet, but I will be able to if I practice and practice. Dave, down the bottom here, says, my brain doesn't know how to do this problem, so I'm not going to do it. So, talk to somebody, explain to that person at home that you are with, get them in, get them on the screen, show them this and say, look, I can understand now what a growth mindset means. I know what a fixed mindset means, Mum. Look at me, Dad. I can explain to you. So pause the video, go and get your grown up and tell them you know which is which. So which one of these is growth, which one of these is fixed. Away you go. Pause the video. And welcome back. Hopefully you got that. If you didn't get those there, if you didn't realise that Lucy had a growth mindset and Dave had a fixed mindset, please go back, watch that first video, the YouTube video, and then come back and watch this video again, because I need you all to get a handle on what these two words mean and why it's good to have a growth mindset. Okay? Do that. If you've done that, great. Go on. It's almost near the end. What you can do. So I would like to do a, I'm going to tell you a surprise in a second, but to create a poster showing how you could show a growth mindset. So how can you show a growth mindset? Think about what are you going to do? So you could display the poster in your house to help as a reminder what a growth mindset is. And then we really like you to share photos of you with posters around your home, because I'd like to have a poster competition. So I would like to have a poster competition of posters showing us that you understand what a growth mindset is and why it's good. Why is it going to help you? If you're not sure, pause this video, go right back to the beginning, watch the other one. I really want you to get this into your brains and get it into your everyday life, because this will help you do anything you're trying to do that you can't do the first time. This is an idea I had. Just one poster I found. It's the power of yet, because if you think about at the end of the first video we had, the YouTube video, the lady talks about don't be afraid of not being perfect, doesn't she? She said, don't worry about being perfect yet, because yet. So you can always say things like, and we go back to this lady here, Lucy said, I don't know how to play guitar yet. And that's on the video, the lady saying, don't be afraid, we can't, no, you're not going to do everything perfect the first time. That's very hard. So you need to say, I can't do this yet. I'm not good at this yet. I don't understand. Join me. Yet. This doesn't work. Yet. I don't know the answer. Yet. There you go. So that's just an idea of a poster. I'm going to say, I'm going to finish. So that's, go back to here. That is the main thing we'd like you to do. So you don't have to, please don't rush it. Please don't rush it and think you have to finish it today, Monday, whenever you're watching this. Start it today. Think about it. Because it's going to be a competition here. Well, I don't want just copying my presentation. I want you to think a little bit. This is a challenge, isn't it? This is a challenge yourself. So you've got to have to show yourself a growth mindset to be able to do the challenge. Okay? So do it once. If you're not happy with it, don't worry. Like I say, can't have perfection the first time. Say, I'm going to make a good poster. Haven't done it yet. Embrace the challenge. Lastly, 2 lovely slides at the end. Life is a great adventure. Let us not forget that. That's really important. Life is a great adventure. But with lots of adventures, there will be challenges. There are challenges as well as adventures in life. And the issue, the thing to think about is how we deal with those challenges when they come along. And that's having a growth mindset will help you deal with those challenges. And at the end of that video, what I really liked, the one we just watched, the first one you watched rather, is when she said, don't forget, after the rain, the sun will always come out. So after a challenge, don't worry, the sun will have a new day and the sun will always come out. So after you have something you find a little bit tricky, hopefully with a growth mindset, that help you overcome that. And to understand that a growth mindset is not just about keep trying. It's an understanding that things aren't going to be perfect in what you do, but you're going to practice, and then you will improve. Okay. Thank you for listening. Please watch it again. Test your grown-ups. Test yourself again on those questions, and have a go at the poster competition. Okay, showing us the most creative way on showing me a growth mindset. It doesn't even have to be a poster. You can link it in the art and do a sculpture. Dare I say? Okay. Thank you very much for listening, everybody.